This Tuskegee University situation is confirming a lot of the things that I've been calling out the past few months. And what it's exposing, it don't got nothing to do with bonnets, do-rags, or how some of you showing up to class looking like you ain't washed your ass. Nope, don't got nothing to do with it. It's continuing to expose how a lot of you think, and a lot of you have a very twisted worldview, right? I mean, the school is saying these are our standards, right? And before anybody's asking if the standard made sense, if it would work, or if the university had the right to, and they do have the right to because it's their institution, their rules. The conversation immediately became respectability politics. They doing it for white people. And that's when I knew some of you were just fucking cooked beyond repair. There's really no saving some of you. I mean, somewhere along the line, a lot of you started confusing a person having standards with them somehow seeking white approval, and I can't keep up with the logic on that. That shit is confusing. I mean, just think about how crazy that shit sounds. Somebody telling you to pull up your pants, don't come to class looking like you just rolled out of bed, carry yourself with some dignity, and you pointing the finger at white people, bruh. When the fuck did standards become white? Because I didn't get that memo at all. Because I want to see who signed off on that contract. That needs to be evaluated. And then the minute somebody like me challenges this dumbass logic, I get hit with the same tired ass response every time. Well, it don't matter if we wear suits or we sag our pants, they still gonna mistreat us. That's not a fucking argument at all. Because I don't remember anybody saying that wearing a suit stops racism, or dressing like you got some respect for yourself makes prejudice disappear. I love how y'all like to answer questions that nobody asked you because you don't want to answer the one that's being asked. Because the question is a simple one. Can a HBCU have standards or not? Because I'm starting to notice how none of you want to stay there. Because if you actually stayed there and addressed the claim, you might have to just admit that you just don't like the rule. But instead, what do? You start trying to figure out what somebody's motive is. And a lot of you, I'm sorry to say it, a lot of you are horrible fucking mind readers. You're some of the worst I've seen. Keep your day job. I'm serious. Because it's always, well, they trying to impress white people. How exactly do you know that? Huh? Where's your evidence for that? Or maybe, just maybe, that might be the story you telling yourself anytime somebody says, no! And that's when it clicked for me. This ain't got nothing to do with respectability politics. It don't even got nothing to do with white people. Some of you just don't like authority. That's all that is. Some people just don't want to be told no. And that's all it is. But instead of them saying, I don't like to be told what to do because they know how fucked up it sounds, right? No, they want to get on this moral high horse and try to make it into something bigger than it actually is. Now you blaming racism, white supremacy, respectability politics, oppression. You bringing up everything except you don't want anybody setting standards for you. You see, that's why I don't buy half of these dumbass arguments now. And then people got the nerve to tell me I'm making my people look stupid. How am I making my people look stupid? By simply repeating the shit that they're saying back to them. Did it become stupid when I said it? No, it was stupid when it first came out your damn mouth. Because if this university, this HBCU, would have said, we encourage students not to wear bonnets, a lot of you would have ignored that. But instead, the outrage got started when they said, no, you can't wear that shit to class. That one word right there exposed everything. And like I've been pointing out for a while now, I'm starting to think we at a point where some people truly think freedom means nobody can tell them that they out of line. And if anybody just so happens to tell you you out of line, it can't just be a simple disagreement at all. Nope, can't be that at all. Gotta be white approval, anti-black, respectability politics. Man, them words don't mean a fucking thing at this point. They really don't. Because sometimes it's just the standard you don't like. And then the part that really kills me is the same people who keep saying stop centering white people. For some reason, they can't seem to explain how a black institution making a black decision, by the way, without making white people the center of it. We're talking about a black university, a black administration, and a black student body, and somehow white people are still the fucking reason. That tell me right there the issue ain't the dress code. The issue is that some of you are so used to viewing everything through white approval, you can't even recognize a standard unless you think it's benefiting white people. Because that's how a lot of you think. You ain't saying it to our benefit, you gotta be saying it for white people. Just stupid. Just fucking stupid. So here's what I walked away with from this whole topic. How about you stop blaming white people every time somebody gives you a standard? Stop calling every fucking thing respectability politics all because you don't like to be told no. You don't like the rule? Okay, just say you don't like the rule. But stop trying to make up motives because you don't like a person's boundaries. Sometimes a standard is just a standard. Sometimes no just means no. Which is exactly why I don't think some of you hate standards. You just hate standards that you didn't create. Because being able to walk around dressing however you want to dress, that's the standard you created. And that feels like freedom. But anytime somebody else sets a standard, right, it feels like control to you. And instead of you admitting that, you just call it respectability politics, white approval. You call it everything except what it really is. You just don't like being told no. But that's the video, y'all. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.